The Omaha Supernovas became the first team to clinch a spot, the 2025 Pro Volleyball Federation Championship, with a win over Vegas last Thursday. 6 matches still left in the regular season. Atlanta is the only other team to have punched its ticket to the postseason so far, along with your Omaha Supernovas. And guess who meets each other on Saturday evening at the CHI Health Center? That's Atlanta and Omaha.
Rivalry renewed.
Indeed. And we're joined now by a Supernova. Allie Batenhorst joins us on the hotline now. Allie, thanks for doing this. Appreciate it. How's it going?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
So speaking of, I mean, I'm sure it's been a, nonstop kind of thrill for you so far this season, getting drafted, ending up in Omaha. By the way, were you hoping that Omaha was a possible destination for you professionally?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously I have tons of family here and played college here, so that was definitely a top choice for me if I had the opportunity.
So my biggest question was like, what's been the biggest difference for you or adjustment to kind of volleyball at the professional level? It still, mirrors a lot of the college game and you were around it for a long time. What's the biggest adjustment that you've sort of experienced so far moving from the collegiate volleyball game to the pro game?
I would probably say I think college prepares you pretty well for the pro league. I think especially being at an elite program like Nebraska and USC, I think the transition has been pretty smooth, but I think the biggest difference would be this is just kind of essentially a job now, and we play the same team 4 times, and that's just very unusual for me and something I'm not used to, but it just takes a lot of focus, and I think just there's a lot of traveling and just moving all the time, and I think that's pretty similar to college too, but I think, just traveling and playing the same team over and over again, and then this just kind of being your job. I think that's probably the biggest difference, but it's been a really smooth transition, and college prepares you really well. So it's been great.
That's a really good point, and something that I don't know that people think about. You end up, it's a smaller league. You end up playing the same team, a whole bunch of times. And so that familiarity, and oftentimes, they say familiarity breeds contempt. Maybe there's a little bit of that going right now, but you have to try to find like these edges against teams that know you really well and you know them really well. Like what's the difference in playing a team the first time in a season and then by the time you play them a 4th time in a season?
Yeah, like you said, I think people just kind of get used to you and used to your tendencies, and a lot of people are kind of switching up lineups and things are changing a little bit, but yeah, you just kind of get used to seeing the same faces and their tendencies and you pick up on things. So like you said, just finding a way to have an edge on these teams and just really, really being able to be the team that shows up every day and competes and just wants to be there and shows up and just does the little things every single day and works on their body and recovers. And I think that's kind of what gives us the edge on other teams, especially when you see them so often.
Allie Batenhorst is with us. What's your guy? I mean, watch you guys. It seems like you're having a lot of fun. And it seems like all the teams in the league are having a lot of fun. And obviously it is a ton of fun when you're sitting near the top of the standings or at the top of the standings. What's your guys' locker room like? Like how are you able to show what that's like on a nightly basis?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've said it before. This is probably one of my favorite teams I've been on. We get along really, really well on and off the court, and we're just a bunch of goofy girls that are playing volleyball, and just I think we're really, really close off the court, and I think it really translates well, and I think we can kind of show that through our energy, and just our relationships are very evident on the court, and we all have a really good friendship with each other.
As you go on throughout the remainder of the regular season here, what are some of the things, you're sitting at the top of the standings, you want to push yourself over the finish line. What are some of the things that you guys internally are looking to sort of accomplish before we get, closer and closer to that playoff?
Yeah, I think just like I said earlier, I think we're really, really trying to hone in on the little things. I mean, we can make these crazy big plays and do all these crazy things, but it's the little things that are going to set us apart, especially when things are getting pretty challenging. We're getting to the end of the season. It's a long season, and it's just we got to keep up with our bodies and make sure we're recovering. And we all had a meeting yesterday, and we just discussed how we're going to finish the season strong and just be able to, like I said, just really hone in on the little things and just really, really finish strong this year. And hopefully win the championship.
Right. As you have gone through the turns throughout the league now, it feels like there's a familiar face or name on just about every team. Going throughout that, and you've gotten familiar with these girls over years of playing in the Big Ten and maybe a different set for playing your 1 year at USC. Does it feel like there's a familiar face on just about every team that you're playing, and what's that like?
Yeah, I mean it's awesome. It honestly feels like a little bit of it somewhat feels like college in a way, just because you are seeing the same players that you've played in the past. But yeah, there's like a lot of players I haven't seen before that have been playing pro for years and years and years, and yeah, but it's also really comforting to just kind of look across the net and know, like, oh, I've played against her for the past 4 years, and we're both kind of on the same path, and just the volleyball world's a lot smaller than you think, and it's just kind of fun to be able to have those relationships and be able to say hi after the game. And yeah, it's been a blast, honestly.
People are familiar with the home court advantages for the local teams around here at Nebraska and at Creighton. Obviously, it's I've been amazed at looking at the attendance figures after every single game. It just stays steady and steady and steady, and it keeps on going, and it feels like it grows a little bit as well. What is a home match playing for the Omaha Supernovas like in that building?
I mean, it's always amazing. I've said this so many times.
You're right.
And just the fans, no, in the best way possible. The fans show up for us every single night, and it truly is a blessing to have so many people that support us and just really show up for us regardless of how we're playing or how things are going. And I think it just makes our job even more fun, and it makes us feel like we're really playing for a reason, and we're just able to inspire a bunch of young volleyball girls or people aspiring to play volleyball and just put on a show for everyone and be able to kind of connect with them after the game at signings. And it's just really an amazing environment to play volleyball in. And Nebraska's obviously the state of volleyball, so it's awesome.
When you go to other places, and not to disparage those places, but they get pretty good attendance numbers as well. But it's comparative, right? And
Yeah.
in Omaha, it does pretty well, and Nebraska's a volleyball state. What is it like? What's the feeling like going on the road and maybe playing in front of a crowd that's maybe not even as familiar with the sport? We know volleyball so well here because of just the state and how it's embraced it. Maybe not so much in other places. Like, what have you sort of experienced going out on the road?
You know what? I've actually been very pleasantly surprised by the amount of people that have showed up at volleyball games in other states. There's actually quite a few. There's always a Husker fan out there.
Yeah.
I always see somebody wearing a Husker shirt or a hat, and we have Husker fans everywhere, so that's awesome. And I think we've started to see growth in other states. Like even whenever I went to USC and I wasn't always at Nebraska, there were still people showing up. And I think just volleyball itself is growing a lot, and it's just really exciting to see. But obviously, there's no place like Nebraska, so
it's amazing. You could, I mean, anywhere you go, right? Whether you're in an airport somewhere, or you're on vacation, or you're having a weekend away, like there is always, and you're a recognizable face, right? So people are going to see you and say, "Go Big Red." Like, is there anywhere that has surprised you where you've gotten a Go Big Red from?
Oh gosh, there's been plenty of times. Like I can't even remember.
Yeah.
But there's been times where I'm at, like, I think I was in like Maine one time, and it's just, I got to Go Big Red, and I was like, oh my gosh, like hi. And we went to Hawaii when I was at Nebraska. We played beach, and we would go to Hawaii, and we would have like dozens of fans, like just Nebraska fans, and
Amazing.
It's like we are kind of not across the world, but we're pretty far away from Nebraska right now. So
right.
I don't know. They're everywhere, and it's awesome.
That's fantastic. Allie, thanks so much for doing this. Excited for you guys this year. And it seems like you've really started to settle in as a pro as well. So congratulations on that, and good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
That's Allie Batenhorst from the Omaha Supernovas, who are back at home on Thursday against Grand Rapids and Saturday against Atlanta at 6:00. That, by the way, the number 1 versus number 2 showdown. Merritt Beeson on Atlanta.
That's right.
Making their second trip back to Nebraska. Her and Caleb Banworth as well. And so, yeah, there's some stuff on the line this weekend for the Supernovas. And they're, of course, looking ahead to the Pro Volleyball Championship this year, which will be in Vegas, which is the home of the Lee's Family Forum. Mother's Day weekend, semifinals on May 9th, and the championship match for $1 million. On May 11th. Yeah, that's right, Josh. $1 million.
Hello.
You can take that crown and, we got match for $1 million.
300,000. I was told that was a lot.
Yeah.
$1 million.
It's been
also
cool.
A lot.
And the support is truly amazing. Like, if there's one takeaway, obviously the volleyball is good, but they do it pretty well on the support side of things over there, and the outreach, and it's been one of those things that has just grabbed on, and people have stuck with it. We've been doing a couple Creighton games over at the at the ballpark, and they'll play at 6 or whatever on a Saturday, and there'll be all of a sudden parking lot will be full at like 5 o'clock. I'm like, what time's the game again?
What's going on?
6 o'clock.
That's
6
right.
o'clock. The parking lot's full at 5.
Got to get there early.
Yeah. Load it up, get your autographs and stuff like that. And they're really, really good at all that stuff. So if you have a young kid who is interested, and this would be a fantastic experience for them. So thanks to Allie for joining the show, and excited for them the rest of the way.